Hello and a very warm welcome to our continuing coverage of the AFC Champions League Two. And we're bringing you Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors versus Muangthong United. This from the Jeonju World Cup Stadium here in Korea Republic. East region, it's in Group H. And the Korean side will start big favourites. Obviously, a much bigger pedigree in Intercontinental Cup competitions than their opponents. But Muangthong United come here in very good form, and it could be potentially a surprise result this afternoon. There's the current table. Jeonbuk with a comfortable victory in their opening match, more than comfortable. They thrashed Cebu of the Philippines 6-0, actually 4 up inside 50 minutes of that match. Muangthong United, they drew 1-1 at home to Selangor. This a much tougher assignment potentially. It's cloudy and pretty mild, to be honest, in the Jeonju World Cup Stadium. 14 degrees centigrade. That's around about 60 in Fahrenheit. And let me just give you an overview before we go any further as to exactly how the AFC Champions League Two will work. The 21st edition of Asia's second-tier club football tournament used to be known, of course, as the AFC Cup. This is our first season with the revised format. 32 teams in the group stage, so there are 8 groups of 4 teams, 4 in the East region, including this one, 4 in the West. And the top 2 in each group will go through to the round of 16. And once we do get to the knockout stage, and by the way, there'll be a draw made for that in December. Every tie will be played on a home and away basis, except the final, which will be a single game on May the 17th. And as if they needed an extra incentive, there's a place in next season's AFC Champions League Elite for the winners of this competition. That's assuming, of course, they haven't already qualified through their own domestic league. Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors have won the K-League a record 9 times. Actually won 5 consecutive titles between 2017 and 2021, but they haven't won it since. And they were only 4th last season, and that's why they are not in the Champions League Elite. They had 6 successive seasons prior to this term in the top club tournament in Asia, but not this year. And a few in the crowd feeling a little peckish. We're coming towards the 5 p.m. kickoff local time. Jeonbuk have also won the AFC Champions League twice, and the first time they did win it, which was back in 2006, made them the first club from East Asia to win the competition since the Champions League was launched in its previous format back in 2003. Won their other Champions League title in 2016. They got to the quarters last season and lost out to fellow Koreans Ulsan. But this season has been one to forget, frankly, for the Korean side. They're currently languishing in 9th place in the 12-team K-League. Only 1 game left of the season. They did get a win at the weekend, just found a goal in the 6th minute of stoppage time to beat Jeju 2-1, but it didn't really paper over any of the cracks. It's been a tough baptism for coach Kim Do-hyun, who took over in May. Hasn't really gone as planned. So what about their opponents then? Muangthong United from Thailand, only founded relatively recently in the late 1980s. They've been in the top level of Thai football since 2009. Actually, they have the biggest fan base in the country. Nearly 4 million followers on social media for Muangthong United. And their other main claim to fame is that they've got one of the most forward-looking youth academies in the country. 4-time Thai League champions, but not since 2016. Their intercontinental record not as star-studded, obviously, as their opponents today, but they did get to the round of 16 in the Champions League. That was 7 years ago. And they also got to the semis of the AFC Cup, the forerunner to this AFC Champions League Two. That was back in 2010, made the quarters the following year. The Thai domestic league is still rather in its infancy, rather in complete contrast to the K-League, which is almost finished. But after 7 games, Muangthong are 7th. They're 7 points behind the leaders, Buriram. 1-3 drawn 3 and lost 1. And their most recent match was last Friday, where they drew 0-0 against Konkan United. And they have drawn a lot of matches, including their matchday 1 fixture against Selangor, as I mentioned, in this competition. Struggling for goals a little bit, but they are unbeaten in 7. 1-5 and drawn 4 of the last 10. They have met before, actually, these two clubs. It's back in 2013, where Jeonbuk won the home fixture and then drew away in Thailand. Koreans also on a 7-match unbeaten run. 6 victories in their last 10. Would be a major shock, however, if Muangthong United get any kind of a result here. Qualification from the group, I think, would have been their aim at the start of the campaign. When the draw was made, Jeonbuk firm favourites to win this group, Group H. But as I mentioned, after the season that they've had, really can't take anything for granted. Well, no real surprises in Kim Joo-hyun's selection. The defence marshalled by influential skipper Koo Ja-young. Moon Son-min will provide the craft out wide, while the Brazilian striker Thiago is likely to be the main goal threat. Any 5 of those substitutes you see there can be used, plus an additional one if it's a concussion injury. Man in charge tonight is Hannah Hattab from Syria. Both his assistants also Syrian, as you saw there. Well, Muangthong United might be big underdogs, but they do have some serious talent in their ranks. German-born John Patrick Strauss protects the back four admirably as the holding midfielder, while young Swedish striker Emil Roback was once on the books of AC Milan. Two skippers in the middle, Koo Ja-young, as I mentioned, on the left-hand side. Kichil Utra, the centre midfielder, whose career began here way back, and he didn't make any appearances and then came back a few years ago. Number 37, he's the Muangthong United captain. So, referee calling an end to the huddle. It will be in a minute, and then we should be set and ready for action here. Familiar figure of Ali Sissoko, who's 37 now. Might remember him as a player in the English Premier League at both Liverpool and Aston Villa. Of course, he played in Spain at Valencia as well. Actually played in a cup final for Villa. Just slightly late off here. Kittipong Potaochir is the goalkeeper for Muangthong United. So away we go then, with Muangthong United in the red and white. They're attacking the goal away to our left-hand side in this first half. And not the best first touch, that, for Kim Jong-hoon in the Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors goal. Complete miscue off the outside of his boot. Already making a lot of noise. You can probably hear the singing from the home fans. Been very patient this term after disappointments I mentioned of not even being close to challenging for the title. A deep run in this competition would certainly act as some consolation. Kai Kruan plays it out from the back. Chip forward by Pantong. Too far forward, there should be the keepers. They still like to play a passing game, Jeonbuk Hyundai. They, under Kim Do-hyun, he said he wasn't going to change the basic philosophy of the club. But they've had problems defensively this season, leaked too many goals. Coach admitted that actually in this pre-match press conference ahead of this game. Bin. Now, is there a flag here against Moon Sun-min? It stayed down. It just seemed to appear out of nowhere. He was onside. More than half a chance. It's caught napping there defensively, the Thai team. Here's Kim Tae-won. Gone for the return. Dangerously into the middle, but that was a shove. Right in front of the referee's nose. Free kick to the visitors. Kim Do-hyun, who's one of the younger coaches in this competition. He's 42, been in charge, as I said, since May. He's been both the assistant boss here and caretaker manager before he got the full-time gig. Won 62 caps as an attacking midfielder. He was a good player, Kim Do-hyun, only retired in 2019. Trying to get his foot on the ball, Tristan Do. Born in Paris and started his career in France, but 50 plus caps for Thailand. Trying to press, that's Robak doing a good job closing down Koo Ja-young and forcing him into a corner here. Did very, very well, the young Swede. Here in July from AC Milan. Didn't make a start for the Italian Giants. Well, it cost them more than $1 million US. Thakapan Praisuet. Now John Patrick Strauss. Gino Lettieri, the Muangthong United boss, saying he is impressing on his players the need to start well, try and quieten the crowd down. And they are on this 7-game unbeaten run, as I mentioned. That's an excellent challenge. Pitcher Utra, the captain, leading by example with the tackle. Pantong. Crowd expressing their disapproval every time referee Hannah Hattab gives a decision in Muangthong United's favour. Clearly caught his man there, Park Chang-woo. Not the most convincing defending there from Jeonbuk, got away with it. But a couple of times now, Muangthong have looked threatening. Like he might have had his shirt pulled there. Pantong, nothing given. That's out of play. It's a nervy kind of start from the home team. There is Gino Lettieri, 57-year-old Italian. It's his 15th club he's coached. He started his managerial career when he was just 31 in Germany. He actually had a playing career cut short by injury, just 5 years. Only arrived here in July. Subin. That was a blatant push. Just a note, we do not have a VAR in operation today. Well, even after the poor season they've had by their own standards, a crowd of their fans have lost none of their enthusiasm. Just couldn't quite hold the ball up there, Avila. It's a feature of this Muangthong United side. So many of the squad have come through the youth setup. I mentioned their academies very highly rated. Fed away by Kim Jong-hoon. Managed to turn away from trouble quite well, Jin Tae-ho. Nice first time ball, didn't quite reach the target that Kim Tae-won was aiming for. He's been gifted it back though, and he's got 3 to aim at in the area. Went short that time. Kim Tae-won again. He wants it back. That was the intention, and it's produced the game's first corner. Trying to link up with Moon Sun-min down this right-hand side. Still quick, Sissoko, even at 37. He really could shift in his prime. Lee Soo-bin then will take this corner kick once the referee's ready. Oh, it was almost a free swing. Still there's a chance. Well, 2 misses. Initially Thiago, and then Kim Chang-hoon as well from even closer range. Couldn't make anything of it. Real scare that for Muangthong. Wasn't the greatest corner in the world, truth to tell. Almost produced the opening goal early on here. Should be the keepers. Forward by Pantong. Now Patrick Strauss. Strauss again. Born in Germany, Patrick Strauss, but he plays his internationals for the Philippines. Did very well to dig out across, free header. He just couldn't get the power, Patrick Strauss. Nice move though. The cross didn't just have enough on it, so he had to impart it all himself, Patrick Strauss, and it was in the end a very comfortable save for Kim Jong-hoon. But again, it's a warning for Jeonbuk. He would have been impressed by the approach play there, the coach. Offside flag up here. Well, Sissoko just had to get a semi-sprint on there. It wasn't the best of balls for him. He did well to react. Yute To. Oh, a lovely piece of skill. And that will be a free kick. Can play as a striker or as an attacking midfielder, Jin Tae-ho. He's played in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. Arrived here at Christmas. So nearly a year at the club now. He's got one goal this season. That was one of the 6 they scored against Cebu on match day 1. Lee Soo-bin then will take the free kick. He tends to take all the set plays. Plenty to aim at. Oh, that was a completely free header for Thiago. Almost had too much time. But he was left all on his own. Look at the space. It's got to be probably 15 players in the penalty area. He had the freedom of the stadium there, but couldn't direct it to a teammate. Almost had time to control it on his chest and take it down if he wanted to. I don't think he could believe there was no one anywhere near him. Second corner then for Jeonbuk with 12 minutes played here. Similar to the first corner, and again it wasn't particularly well defended at the near post. Trying to find a way out, Min Sung-min. Park Chang-woo thought about trying to find space for a shot and then thought better of it, and in the end nothing comes of it. But they can't clear their lines, Muangthong. One thing they've got to be wary of is inviting pressure by giving the ball away too cheaply. So Kim Ha-jung will start again for Jeonbuk. Well, again, there's plenty of space here for Sun Min. Much too deep the cross, though. Sissoko got to it first with his head. Oh, they've given it straight back. Kim Tae-wan, very creative player, not the man you want to give it to, ideally. He is again. Nice header, it just fell behind Kim Tae-wan. Sissoko away. Haven't stopped singing from the first whistle, the home fans. Made off by Kim Tae-won again, who's seeing a lot of the ball. Then on by Moon Sung-min. Nice reverse pass. Good defending. Corner kick though, that's 3 corners inside the first quarter of an hour for Jeonbuk. Onside. One of those that the defender has to time perfectly, and Tristan Doe did. Kim Chang-hun appreciated the intent behind the pass, if not the precise delivery of it. So changing corner taker here, this is Yoo Jae-ho. Again, didn't beat the first defender, he's going to get another go. So that's 3 corners in a row that have just been delivered too short, really. See if this one has a bit more depth to it. It's on the case again, the referee. Talking to Tristan Doe and Koo Ja-young. Again, short with the corner. Park Chang-woo. Sissoko with the footing. Sissoko. Patrick Strauss. I don't think we'll see Sissoko making that many overlapping runs from left back. Certainly not early on. Well, he said keep it tight for 20 minutes, did Gino Lettieri. They're not far away from doing that. And they've caused the odd problem for Jeonbuk coming forward as well. Park Chang-woo. Occasionally they can go long, just a bit too much on it. Good target man, Thiago there, he's 6'3". And a decent turn of pace as well. Well, there's no flag here. What an opportunity. It should have been 1-0, really. Sliced apart again, Jeonbuk. Just a standard ball over the top. And Arvillai couldn't take advantage. Defender just got a foot in. But if he'd hit it fractionally earlier, surely would have scored there. Just allowed the defender to get back. Really well spotted by Tristan Doe. So this is going to be Muangthong United's first corner. Jeonbuk have had 4 already. Let's see if they can get the delivery any better. Tristan Doe to take. Well, it's obviously contagious, should be the keepers. I think 2 coaches will be incredibly frustrated with delivery these corners. Just not applying any pressure whatsoever. So easily dealt with at the near post. That's a good ball. Villai. Row back. Still row back. Well, you could see exactly what he was trying to do, just open up his body and side-foot it into the corner, but he got the finish all wrong. Lovely touch that from Avila. Set up his strike partner, deserved a much better finish than that. Good body strength initially to hold off the defender. Just couldn't execute from then on. Bout ahead tennis. In the end, Yu Tae-ho comes away with it. It's a short pass, though. Should have been into the feet of Todd Sanid, but he couldn't control it and take it on. So they've done as their boss has asked, Muangthong so far. Kept the score sheet blank after 20 minutes and also created the best chance of the game, which Emil Robak couldn't take. This is Kim Tae-hwan. Kim Tae-hwan again. I've operated predominantly down this right-hand side, Jeonbuk. First 20 minutes or so. That's a nice turn. Very calm under pressure. Yu Tae-ho. He's one of the younger members of the team. He's only 24. He arrived here early this year from Suwon Blue Wings. Flag was up on this near side. And that was why. It's Moon Sung-min. Nicely done, Lee Soo-bin. Switching it from one flag to the other. So far, though, there hasn't been too much of an end product. Maybe now, with Yu Tae-ho, good challenge. They do look a well-organised side, Muangthong under Gino Letteri. John Patrick Strauss. You could hear the collective groan around the Jeongju World Cup Stadium, and that was rather tamely given away. Oh, it's a lovely little touch. Crowd do appreciate the subtlety and the skill. There's Yu Tae-ho with that little bit of trickery, and that's going to be a free kick for the Thai side. was nice control from Prosuan. Not the pass to match. He was looking for Arvilla, who'd made the run. Two really good chances they've had, Muangthong United. One from Arvilla, one for Roback. Could easily be a couple of goals up here. That's a bit casual, they've lost it, and here's Arvilla. Not a bad try, needed saving. Would have expected Kim Jong-hoon to keep it out. But the way in which they just presented it to Muangthong would have been a serious cause for concern for Kim Do-hyun. Song Min did well under pressure, and he's drifted past a couple of defenders, and he's got options both sides. Thiago trying to stay on side, he might not need him. The shot just lacked the sting. Fantastic run though. They had Kim Jong-hoon one side, Thiago the other, and they just backed off Muangthong. No challenge. I think he was entitled to go for goal himself in the end, but really not enough on the shot. Now here's Roback. Nearly managed to find a way through. Once again, rather loose in possession, the home side. It's going to be a corner, I think, is it? Yes, it is. I think he'll be delighted with his team so far. Gino Lettieri there. This was the shot that was comfortably saved. He just needed either more power or more accuracy, one of the two, Arvilla. And then the chance at the other end, which forced Pu Tao-chia into action in the Muangthong goal. Four just inside the penalty area, and they've got one right in front of goalkeeper Kim Jong-hoon. Might be out there at half-time practicing corners, you know. Thiago had it, won it, and then lost it. Utra needs support, we'll get the free kick. Well, did really well to keep that in play. Brilliant from Craig Kroen. Certainly tackling like Tigers at the moment, the Tigers, and that's not a bad ball either. Just couldn't quite bring it under control. The defender was hesitant. He's lost it. Roback just couldn't find the room to shoot. Patrick Strauss off the post. Oh, that goal is living a charmed life. Awful defending from Jeonbuk, but Muangthong United couldn't capitalise. To say the defending was hesitant is a huge understatement. Can't come much closer than John Patrick Strauss just did. He won't believe his team aren't ahead. Sissoko away. Sissoko will head those away all afternoon. It's a nice turn from Thiago. was trying to thread the eye of a needle with the pass, though. Muangthong Min with that wonderful run a few moments ago, and he's off again here. He's laid it off to Yoo Jae-ho, but nothing in the shot that was ever going to trouble Kittipong Putauchit. One fairly, no handball for Yoo Jae-ho. Sissoko. Just past the half-hour mark. It's gone pretty quickly. It's a very watchable game. And the lion's share of clear-cut chances have come for the visitors, who should be ahead, and arguably by more than a goal as well. Lee Soo-bin. Jin Tae-ho found the door slammed shut on him. Height of optimism, really, from that range. Tristan Do, and I think his manager wasn't best pleased either, because he had options. Well, this is that amazing incident where really should have scored. Defender got himself into all kinds of trouble, Kim Tae-wan, and eventually John Patrick Strauss hit the upright after excellent work from Emil Roback. Keeper's got to make this. That was calm enough, although now he's in trouble. Oh, I tell you what, Sissoko had to rescue the situation. Looked as though Jeonbuk weren't going to do anything with it, and all of a sudden there was hesitancy. Looked to me like he was second favourite to get it there, but once he did get it, the first touch was so heavy it allowed Thiago to steal it from him. And then there was some woeful defending from Do, and in the end Sissoko able to clear. Here comes Kim Tae-wan. Sissoko again with the interception. Plenty of time for Kim Ha-jun. Well, that was sloppy. And now it's 3 against 3 if they can play it right, but it was behind Thiago. His pass wasn't the best either. Muangthong Min, and again with the outside of the boot. Almost queuing up to shoot here. Kim Tae-wan again. Got numbers back now, Muangthong. Jin Tae-ho. Kim Tae-wan, that was clever. He wanted it back early, didn't get it. That was better. Lee Soo-bin. Kim Tae-wan. Now maybe Lee Soo-bin will cross it. Wasn't a bad delivery actually. Just at the moment, Muangthong can't get out. Now maybe they can. Patrick Strauss away. Not very far though. Shin Tae-ho. Lee Soo-bin. Min Song-min, who's looked very lively. Thiago. Only a Brazilian would try that. Corner kick. Jae-ho then will take this corner. Flick at the near post was a good one. Nearly caused a massive problem. Near post corners are fine if you get the flick, and that's exactly what Lee Soo-bin did. Seen those loop in at the far post on plenty of occasions. Well, the most astonishing thing about the first half is it's still 0-0. So many opportunities, most of them to Muangthong, but Jeonbuk have had a couple of chances themselves. Roback. Touch from Arvillay. Patrick Strauss trying to make something of it. Kruan. Was presented straight to the feet of Muangthong, and now there might be an opportunity for Roback. Fine stop with the feet from Kim Jong-hoon. Roback is giving them problems. He just can't finish. Goalkeeping though. By Kruan. And that will be a free kick for Muangthong. 7 minutes to go in the first half, in which they have been the better side. Took the free kick very quickly while Kruan was still on the ground, actually. Sissoko to Patrick Strauss. Nice little touch off by Kruan. Defender should be able to shepherd that behind, just about. It's clearly out of play, goal kick. Well, another look at the most recent Muangthong chance. Roback's first touch wasn't bad. Just didn't get it far enough away from the goalkeeper, who did well. Potentially that looks like a, was that a knee problem? Thigh. First time we've seen a physio actually on the field from either side. There aren't many of them here, but those that are making their presence felt, certainly heard. I think Price-Owan's okay. I don't think he was best impressed. They actually took the free kick that he won when he was still on the ground. Had that one nervous moment, didn't he, Futauche, the keeper for Muangthong, when he raced out of his goal. Heavy first touch, almost put his side in big trouble. Other than that, hasn't really been unduly troubled. Ran into trouble there, cried Crouan. Sissoko threaded that through nicely for Patrick Strauss. A couple of players make runs. He might go himself. Plenty of power, but nowhere near the target. Just the one goal this season for the 28-year-old. Played his whole career in the second tier of German football until he arrived here this summer. Isubin. Kim Tae-won. Nicely into the feet of Jin Tae-ho. Thiago was the target. Sissoko saw the danger. Offside flag up anyway. Just went a fraction too soon. This Park Chang-woo. Long towards Moon Sung-min, but again, offside flag raised. Well, they've had 60% of possession, the home side, but it doesn't really tell the whole story. Seven shots for Muangthong against 6 for Jeonbuk. Now this is going to be a problem for the Thai side if Sissoko has an issue. So close to half-time that I imagine they're going to make a change, at least have a look at it during the break, give themselves a chance of getting him back on. Well, the fact he can find a smile would suggest maybe it's okay. It's been a very steadying presence defensively for Muangthong United, not just in this match, but since he joined the club a few months ago. A couple of minutes to add on, we're playing them now. Lee Soo-bin's header back. Well, maybe his half-time team talk be a little easier than he was anticipating, because there's something happens in the next minute and a half. This team are not going to only be on terms, but well, no, they should have been winning. Several chances gone begging. Kim Jong-hyun goes long into the second and final minute of time added on. Just lost his bearings for a minute there, Kim Ha-jun. Managed to deal with the bounce in the end. Foul by Sissoko. Kim Tae-won. Wonder whether we'll see wholesale changes in the second half from Kim Do-hyun. Might make alterations at the break, you know, I think. We will see shortly, because that is the end of the first half here. No goals, but it doesn't tell the whole story. Jeonbuk, who came into the match big favourites, really should be behind. John Patrick Strauss has hit a post, and both Roback and Arvillai have had excellent chances, which they haven't been able to take. Kim Jong-hyun there has been much the busier goalkeeper. Nonetheless, at the break here in this East Region Group H match, it's Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors 0, Muangthong United 0. chances. It's amazing that that is the scoreline. Just looking to see if there have been any changes, and there's the answer. I did think that Kim Do-hyun might be in the mood to switch things around a little bit. Looks like Bak Jae-yong is one of those about to come on. And Lee Yong-jae is the other. Thiago is one of those coming off. And the other man to be withdrawn is Yoo Jae-ho. So Bak Jae-yong is a straight swap for Thiago, so he'll play up front. And Lee Yong-jae, I would imagine, will come into a central midfield role. Roback could have had a hat-trick, you know, it's no exaggeration in that first half. So away we go. Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors in the green, taking the goal away to our left in the second half. Never really got going in the first period. Interesting ball straight away. Sissoko struggling to get there. In the end, he did very well to see off the attentions of Moon Sung-min. Moon Sung-min looked probably the likeliest, actually, to produce something for Jeonbuk. They had one lovely run where he sprinted from his own half, in the end forced a save from Puchao in the Muangthong goal. I would imagine that Gino Leteri, the Muangthong coach, very relieved that Ali Sissoko has been able to come out for this second half. Went down injured near the end of the first period. Sung-min. Not close would be the charitable description. Works in rugby, not in this game. First touch for Lee Yong-jae. A beautiful play from Patrick Strauss. Roback just trying to flick it to Todd Sanid, and it was behind his strike partner. Battling away gamefully there, Preussen. The referee was very close to that. And it was from Moon Sung-min. It was a good one. And now they're streaming forward, Jeonbuk, but that is such a disappointing ball. So many options to aim at. Must be a shirt tug in there. The referee just waited, I think, to see if there was going to be any kind of an advantage. When there wasn't, Lewis whistle straight away. Suan. Should be a Jeonbuk ball. Helped on by Isubin. Quite know where that was at first, but he got away with it. Kim Tae-wan. That's Jun Tae-ho. Oh, it's a nice run. They got three waiting if they can deliver here. Must be it is. Superbly finished by Moon Song-min. He's not the most likely, and now he's delivered 5 minutes into the second half. They worked the opening beautifully down the right-hand side, and for once the cross was perfection, and so was the finish. It's his 7th of the season, his 2nd in this competition. It was really well worked. Lovely give and go there, and there was the look up, perfectly pulled back, and a really well controlled volley. Kim Tae-wan's delivery, Moon Song-min's finish, and it's 1-0 Jeonbuk. Excellent technique. Didn't try and hit it too hard. He knew he just had to guide it really into the gaping net. So, what have Muangthong got in response? Because they've played such a full part in this match up to now. But now it becomes a real test of character. Played off by Todsanid. Chang-hun on the chase, but flag's gone up. Well, they're enjoying themselves much more now. To be fair, they had never stopped singing. And now they've got something to sing about. Well, laid off nicely, and a very good touch from Todsanid. Quite full for him, but it was imaginative nonetheless. Though unable to control it. Well, they'll be feeling a lot happier now, Kim Do-hyun, because his team really were second best in the first half. But now they've made the breakthrough, maybe that'll inspire them to go on from here. Did well to get that out of his feet there, Chang-woo. Tae-ho. Well, Bak Jae-yong was the man who went down. I think there were any serious penalty appeals. Do. Cheng-woo. Kim Chang-hun. Suddenly playing with renewed verve. Clearly confidence coursing through the veins. Amazing what a goal does. Lee Yong-jae. Oh, what about that? The second half substitute doubles Jeonbuk's money. Almost nonchalantly, really. No chance for Putir-chia. Buried in the corner. And 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes have turned this match on its head. Didn't seem that much danger. Just picked his spot and found it unerringly. Keeper didn't move. View might have been slightly impaired by the defender in front of him, but nonetheless, just curled magnificently into the bottom corner. Well, Kim Do-hyun will be delighted with that, not just because his team have doubled their advantage, but the man he brought on just a few minutes ago has already had a telling effect. Well, how deflating that must be for the Thai side. Suddenly find themselves a couple of goals down out of nowhere, really. They're trying to get one back here. It's round the back momentarily. Row back. I think noise as loud as it's been at any stage. There have been plenty of decibels throughout. Well, that is the score. Corner, though, to Muangthong. Not particularly accurate delivery from that corner. It's been the story, actually. And the scoreline is going to provoke a double change here momentarily from the Thai side. It's Jin Tae-ho. Now Kim Chan-hun. Oh, he's done really well. He nearly managed to find Bak Jae-yong. I think we're going to see that double change momentarily from Muangthong. Jin Tae-ho. Well, that's a nice ball. All of a sudden, it looks a completely different game. Look at this run. Might be attacking, it is. It's Moon Sung-min again. And Jeonbuk are running riot here. They've scored 3 times in 7 minutes. And Muangthong United ripped to pieces again. No challenge. Surging run. Pinpoint cross and a relatively straightforward finish that time for the 32-year-old. But look at the space on that right-hand side. Kim Tae-won given the freedom of Korea, really. Slight deflection of Jakapam Praisuan, probably would have gone in anyway. and it will certainly be Moon Sung-min's goal. Well, this scoreline now could be anything you like. I've made a couple of changes in the meantime, Muangthong. We'll see if we can sort that out for you shortly. Todd Senid has come off. Look at this again, so much space for Lee Soo-bin. Once he couldn't take advantage of it, and Lee Young-jae was hassled off it, no foul. But they've got it back so quickly. And Kim Tae-won on that right-hand side, just been causing so many problems. We've played for exactly an hour. 3-0 it is. There'll be a free kick here. Just can't get hold of the ball at the moment, the Thai side. And here comes Moon Sung-min again. Looking really dangerous with ball at feet. He's on a hat-trick now, of course. Is there room to turn? The layoff was a better bet, and fractionally wide from Kim Jae-hoon. They're shooting on sight, and it looks now like they could score every time they go forward. Trying again now, just had it whipped away from him, did Jin Tae-hoo. And they've got it back again. In Tae-won go. It's a great cross, and it had to be dealt with at the near post by Songwook Kraekruen. A second half that bears absolutely no relation to the first. It really doesn't. Astonishing transformation. The in-swinger from that far side. Tell you, by the way, it was Sissoko and Todd Senid, the players who went off for Muangthong, and Kam Yok will go into the back four, and Felicio Forbes will play up front. That was his touch. And it looks a hopeless task, doesn't it now, as Do crosses it in. Well, they must feel absolutely shell-shocked at the moment. Muangthong. It's with Arvilai. Into the feet of Kanyok. Well, that was nicely worked. And it's in there. That's a really good finish. Almost like time stood still for a moment. So they've given themselves a lifeline. Thrashed in by Sorowit Pantong. And out of nothing, to be honest, nice little passing triangle on the edge of the penalty area. Still had a lot to do. And beat the keeper at his near post. Naturally left-footed player, and he showed it there. Keeper might have been expecting him to go across him, but he fairly hammered that in at the near post, did Pantong. And we've got an injury problem here. Pantong's third goal of the season. Well, the two-goal man will not get a hat-trick because Moon Son Min is off. Well, it looks like Park Chae-jun has come on. He's a striker, so I don't think there's going to be any let-up, despite the goal back that Pantong has just delivered for Muangthong. He's done a lot of damage, though, Moon Son Min. 2 goals, he's been arguably their best player on the night. That was his first one. Lovely cushion volley. Second one, a little easier, via a slight deflection. Might just have taken a bit of a knock, so precautionary substitution, I'd reckon. This looks significantly worse. So in the act of scoring that goal, Pantong unable to continue. And Satapon Dangsi is on. So he'll go straight into that full-back role. 3 substitutions now for each side. Past the halfway point already of the second half. It has flown by. They get a second one back. We could be in for fireworks here. Doe. Well, I think that was a shot, actually. And it found Forbes almost accidentally. I've seen goals scored like that before. I think he only had eyes for goal here, Tristan Doe. And Forbes from, well, no more than a couple of metres out. It was going so hard, he couldn't really control the header at all. All of a sudden, there's a spring in Muangthong United's step. Still fully 20 minutes to go. Try and rescue something. That will be a corner. On by Kamyok, one of the three subs. So Pantong went off literally a minute after scoring that Muangthong goal. Tristan Doe will take this corner. Time to measure across with his left foot, but he'd want that back again if he could. Another chance now, this time on the right. No better. That's a lovely piece of skill from Jin Tae-ho. Keeper was a little late in coming off his line, then he realised he'd be able to get to that comfortably. Fourth change then. Kim Chang-hun is coming off for Hyundai. And Won Chang-hun, midfielder, is coming on. Jin Tae-ho. It's a nice turn from Lee Young-jae. One of those players that always looks like he's got a little more time than anybody else. Park Jae-young. Four waiting in the middle now. Chose not to deliver the cross. Here's Lee Young-jae. First touch for Won Chang-hun. Lee Young-jae. Doe. Rather telegraphed the pass. And here comes Park Chae-jun with plenty of space to run into here. Look how many green shirts there are in the box, but I'll have to withdraw now. Made a bit of a mess of it on that right-hand side. This is Doe. See him coming forward anywhere near as much in the first half as he is now. Well, needs must, I guess, at 3-1 down. Loose control allows Jeonbuk to re-establish possession. Clever little touch from Jin Jae-ho again. On by Park Chae-jun. Swept wide by Lee Young-jae. This is Won Chang-hoon. Might fancy the shot. Bounce just before the keeper, who gets to the rebound fractionally before Baek Jae-kyung. Didn't look like it was an effort that really should have given him too much of a problem. Just able to dive on it before the striker got to the rebound. Doe. Much too high for Emil Robak to do anything with that. It's found its way through to Jin Tae-ho, still going. He's a hard man to knock off the board. He's only 5'7", but low centre of gravity, changes direction so quickly. Arvilai. Still think if Muangthong were to get another one back in the next few minutes, set up a rousing finale here. Tristan Doe. So the last two changes about to be made for Muangthong. Not sure whether they'll do it before or after this free kick. Looks like he is going to wait, Gino Leteri, to make the double switch. Might change his mind if they score from this. Oh, he wasn't far away from it either, Forbes. Agonisingly unable to get a touch. So Patrick Strauss and Emil Robak coming off. And K-Win coming on. That's number 23, midfielder. 24, I beg your pardon. And Korowit Tassar is on as well. Meanwhile, that isn't very adjacent. So Korowit Tassar will play up front. They need goals, at least two of them. All five changes he's made now, Leteri. So those that are left have to get the job done. Just no angle, was there? And K-Win made a decent run, and this time the keeper was alert, made sure he covered that near post. There was no room. between him and the upright. I actually fear at the moment that there could be a goal at either end. Probably never a bad thing. Park Chae-chun. On by Lee Young-jae. Lee Young-jae again. Park Chae-woo. Lee Young-jae. Lee Bin. Park Chae-chun now. 3 substitutes combining in this move. Here's Jin Jae-ho. Park Chae-chun. A little bit of keep ball wouldn't hurt. Just keep Muangthong United at bay from a Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors point of view. This is K-Win. Didn't quite know where he wanted to go, I don't think. Jeonbuk have gifted it back, though, to the Thai side. Just about kept it in play on that far side, did Koo Ja-young. A little bit of space here for Tristan Doe. I think it was actually aimed at Forbes, but he got out of the way thinking there was a teammate behind him. There wasn't. It's a nice header. Now Jin Tae-ho might go himself. He might now. He's buried it. No question that Jeonbuk are going to take the points. And pretty much all his own work. Shook off the defender initially. And then there were a couple of others that got back to try to stop him, and neither managed it. It was a very tidy finish when he eventually got himself in shooting distance. And that has snuffed out, surely, any chance of a Muangthong United fight back. That was the first defender brushed aside. He was looking for help, he was looking for support. It arrived pretty late, by which time he didn't need it anymore. Gave the defender the eyes and then sent the keeper effectively the wrong way. He was convinced Ho To-che was going to go across him. He went back towards the near post to make it 4-1. His second of the season, both of them in this competition. Might be hungry for a fifth. So into the last 5 minutes, the game is 1 now for Jeonbuk. So they've made an absolutely flying start in Group A, 6-0 winners in their opener. Not going to do the goal difference any harm either. Here's Park Jae-chun. Going to get another chance here as well. They're looking very tired right now, the Muangthong players. Another shooting opportunity potentially for Jin Tae-ho. Not sure how adjacent that was. If we get a shot from behind the goal, we'll find out. Nice little drag back. Rather skewed off the outside of his boot, didn't it? So Kim Ha-jun, the captain, has gone off with the game effectively won. Jin Si-woo, his replacement at centre half. Light break here for Forbes, just spun away from him. Got it back with Do though. Arvenai almost found a way through. Oh, and over the top from Do, and it really looked easier to score. You can't believe it. And you look back on the first half when Muangthong had so many chances they should have taken. Just leaning back, and that's why the ball went up and over. Here comes Jin Tae-ho. Always suspected that Muangthong's best chance of qualifying was to take points off the other teams in this group. Fancy themselves for sure against a team from the Philippines, Cebu. And obviously they've got to play Selangor away. They drew the home game 1-1 against those opponents. This is Tristan Do. It's been one of those evenings for Gina Letteri. And I would imagine his halftime team talk would have been overly positive. They're playing well, at the better of the first period, should have been ahead but weren't. And that little period at the start of the second half where it all went sour. So into the final minute of normal time. There'll be here a few minutes to add on as well, no doubt, but not enough. Laid off by Lee Young-jae. They've lost it there. Jeonbuk. This is Kanyok. This is Do. Still full of running on this right-hand side. Laid off to Keun. Just ran through easily enough for Kim Jong-hoon in the end. So into time added on. And there will be 6 minutes of that. Here comes Park Chi-chun. Unable to hold on to it. Not a bad ball that for Arvilay. Defended it enough. Lee Young-jae. Now Lee Soo-bin. If they were to win their next 2 Champions League 2 matches, Jeonbuk, that would pretty much ensure qualification. Obviously on top of the group, but the way they've started, anything other than finishing first in Group A should be a bit of a surprise. Shaik and K-Win. Forbes. Oh, that's not a bad try. Certainly had Kim Jong-hoon scrambling across his goal. Tassar it was, he's just come on, decent effort. Something of a resigned look on Gino Lettieri's face there. Got to give Tristan Do credit, he's never stopped running, particularly in this second half, the right back. Well, it's going to be probably quite a morose journey back home for Muangthong. I think what might have been in this match, the flag's up here, it was offside, no question that Jin Tae-ho was well beyond the last defender. Kanyok. Forbes. Helped on for Do again. Forbes has had really precious little service since he came on. Do again. Oh, that was almost an inadvertent assist for Forbes. Having said he had no service, he got a perfect ball from an opponent and really should have scored. Let's have a look at this. Don't look like he'd made a mess of it, and the defender just poked it into the path of the number 9. Couldn't take advantage. been ready to hear the final whistle for a while, actually. Muangthong into the last minutes of stoppage time now. Gasu, Kim Tae-won raiding again. Can they ice the cake with the last kick of the game? Not quite. Cleared away by Krai Kruan. Tossed forward by Kim Jong-hoon. Last few seconds now. Final whistle has gone. An extraordinary game, really. Muangthong United dominated the first half, should have been ahead but weren't, and then got blitzed at the start of the second period. 3 goals in 8 minutes. 2 of them from Moon Song-min, the other from Lee Yong-jae. They did get back in it thanks to Sorowit Pantong's goal, but then Jin Tae-ho got a 4th 6 minutes from time to continue Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors' excellent start to the AFC Champions League Two. 2 games, 2 wins, and 10 goals scored. They're going to take some stopping as far as heading this group. Obviously it's going to get tougher from there, and in some ways makes up a little bit for the poor season that they've had domestically. Muangthong will think, well, what might have been had they capitalised on just a couple of those first half chances. Final score then from the Jeongju World Cup Stadium. It finished Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors 4, Muangthong United 1.